Hey everybody, this is Angela from Texas, and you're listening to 5 Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is a show that gives you 5 NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. However, we are in the off season, so we're going to give you 5 March Madness picks. Today we are joined by our special guest, Rudy. Thanks for being with us today, Rudy.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me again.
All right. Well, last week, El Gato and I both went 3-2. Not too bad to start this off-season podcast.
Yeah, I'll take that. Basketball season, transitioning from football to basketball is always, kind of a learning curve. But, had some good picks. I thought some solid picks. We lost some close ones. But, that's the way basketball goes when, there's so many games during the week. Sometimes they play back-to-back, 2 or 3 times a week. So a lot to keep up with on as far as who's playing where and who travels where. But it was a good week. Solid picks going 3-2.
Yeah, I'll take the 3-2. Well, it is March Madness, like I said. My first pick is going to be Northwestern -1.5 versus Boise State. The Wildcats are coming out of the Big Ten, which is one of the most competitive conferences in college basketball. They are 6-4 in their last 10 sporting wins against Purdue and Indiana, 2 teams that are predicted to go far. Although Boise State is a little better offensively, the Wildcats are better defensively and will get good production from their backcourt. What are your thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, that's a tough game. Northwestern at -1.5, you said, right?
Yep, -1.5.
Yeah, it's a 7-10 matchup. Like you say, Northwestern coming out of the Big Ten, one of the, I think, was rated maybe the toughest conference in college basketball. They had the most teams in it, I believe. They don't sport the best record, but like you said, they played competitively in that conference. The only thing I don't like is that they were 1-5 in their last, 1-4 in their last 5 games. But what I do like about them is they're led by some seniors that have been with the program a little bit. On the other hand, Boise State coming in 3rd place in their conference, right behind San Diego State. The last 5 games are 2-3. They average about 74 points a game. Northwestern about 67. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with the team that is coming out of a really tough conference. I'm going to go with Northwestern at -1.5. I'm going to count on that senior leadership to pull this one out.
All right. What are your thoughts on this pick, Rudy?
Yeah, I think Northwestern can probably cover 2. Looks like it's probably going to be like a low-scoring game. Both teams defend really well. I think Boise State only has 2 or 3 wins over Quad 1 teams, and I think Northwestern has 7. So I think Northwestern's a little bit more capable of pulling it off than Boise State. I don't think Boise State's good enough to hang with a high-level team. Whether Northwestern is a high-level team or not, but I think they're capable of competing with some of the better teams like Purdue, Indiana. I think they played them a couple times this season, so I think Northwestern is definitely the pick here.
All right, sounds good. My second pick is going to be Missouri +1.5 versus Utah State Aggies. This looks like a pretty even matchup on paper. Utah State finished 2nd in their conference and can light it up from the 3. But the Tigers have faced better competition coming out of the SEC. The Tigers are 6-4 against AP-ranked teams, and 2 of those losses were against number 1 Alabama. On the flip side, the Aggies were 0-2 against AP-ranked teams. Give me the Tigers with the points. What are your thoughts on this game, Rudy?
Yeah, I do like the Tigers in this one as well. I think Missouri's looking for its first second-round appearance since 2010. And I definitely think they have a pretty good shot at it right now.
What are your thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go on the other side of that. It's a 7-10 matchup, Missouri being the 7th seed, Utah State being the 10th seed. But Missouri is the underdog on this one, so something's going on. So I dug this slightly deeper into this one, and I found that Utah State is slightly rated better on the defensive end. And their 2 guard play, supposedly, from what the quote-unquote experts say, have better guard play than Missouri. So On this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with Utah State at minus 1.5 as a 10 seed. I'll take that upset.
All right. So do you have a third pick for us, Rudy?
I do actually, and I have a pretty sizable upset for a pick. I like Furman at 5.5. Well, at least to cover the spread. Maybe not so much a win, but at least to cover the spread. Furman 5.5 against Virginia.
All right. I think I saw the latest spread on this one was actually 6, so that's even better.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's even better.
Even better.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this game, El Gato?
I think I'm going to go with Rudy on this one. If it's at plus 6, I'll take that 6. I was even going to take my 5.5. Both teams finished the season very strong. With Furman at 5-0, that's a good run. Virginia at 4-5 from the ACC, tough conference. But Furman did win their conference, and that's something to brag about. It's tough enough. Winning games, when you win your conference, that should give you an edge, I think. They know how to win. I'm not going to say that Furman's going to win the game outright, but I think they can cover and go ahead and cover. If it's at plus 6, I'll take that plus 6 over Virginia. Furman a 13 seed, Virginia 4. But I think they can play with them, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with you guys also on this one. I'm not taking the team laying the points in this game. Furman has a decent offense that can score against the Cavs. Virginia can be unpredictable during March Madness, so I'm going to go with y'all Furman plus 6 on this game.
And Virginia actually lost one of their starting forwards for the season with a fractured hand, who was kind of like a glue guy, and I think that's gonna come up huge for Furman.
Well,
Nice.
Even better.
Even better.
Yeah, even better. All right. Do you have a 4th and 5th pick for us, El Gato?
I do. I'm going to go with Xavier, the 3 seed, at minus 12.5 over Kennesaw State, a 14 seed. And, all I did on this one really was go into the stats. And from what I can tell and what I've read, Xavier can score the basketball. They're mid-80s, a solid mid-80s team. They finished the season at 4-5. Kennesaw State went 5-0. But with Xavier being able to score out of the Big East up against some good competition, I'll take their guard play over Kennesaw State's guard play every day. 12.5 is a lot of points, but I think they can really light it up on the scoreboard. I'll take Xavier at minus 12.5.
All right. Do you have any comments on this game, Rudy?
Yeah, I think Xavier is definitely the pick here as well. Kennesaw State just they're not capable enough to compete with Xavier. I don't think. I think Xavier leads the nation in assists. Kennesaw State's really active defensively. I don't know if they can generate enough turnovers to convert into quick points. But yeah, I think Xavier just scores way too many points, and Kennesaw State can definitely get their share of points, but I just don't think they can keep up with that offense.
Yeah, I agree with y'all on this one as well. I think this is a big mismatch. Kennesaw State had a little run at the end of their season, but only won by a small margin. Xavier is a different team than what Kennesaw State has faced, so Musketeers will cover. What about a 5th pick for us, El Gato?
My next pick is going to be Creighton, a 6 seed, against NC State, an 11 seed. I want to go with Creighton at minus 5. Creighton, I've seen them play a few times this year. I've seen them play against the Longhorns in a loss here in Austin. They've got a dominating center. They've got 2 solid guards that can score the ball. NC State, on their side, has 1 guard who's leading the team in stats in both points and rebounds. I'm sure I read that correctly because I read it not but an hour ago. So if you've got 1 guard leading a team in a couple of major stats, if they can clamp him down, I think that'll make it for an easier win for Creighton. If they can shut him down, I mean, who else can NC State go to for rebounding and for points. And since he's a guard, he may be even one of the top players in assists. So it sounds like they've got a one-man star on that NC State squad with some role players. And like I say, if you can shut down their number one guy, and that's all they've got, makes for an easier path. I'll take Creighton -5 on this one.
All right. What are your thoughts on this game, Rudy?
Yeah, I think NC State's offense definitely goes as backcourt goes. I think the main thing in this matchup is definitely going to be size. I think Creighton has a 7'1" center averaging a little bit over 15 points and a little bit over 2 blocks a game. I just don't see NC State being able to match up size-wise with someone someone like that as good of a center as he is. So NC State's good. I think both teams are really solid. I think it's going to be a pretty solid game, but I do like the Creighton pick. I think Creighton has a little bit too much for NC State to deal with.
Yeah, I like the Creighton pick as well, so I'm going to take the Blue Jays in this matchup. North Carolina State has lost 3 out of the last 5, and 2 of those losses were blowout losses against Clemson, who didn't even make the tournament. And I just saw that Clemson lost in their first game in the NIT tournament. So
on the first round?
Yep, they lost to Morehead State 68-64. That is final. So, yeah, give me Creighton Blue Jays in this game.
Nice.
All right. Well, I don't think that we've got any bonus bets for our listeners, but I do have a small little tip that I'm just going to throw out there.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. One day I was sitting, getting ready for the NCAA tournament to start, sitting in a Las Vegas sports book. And this wise old gentleman told me, whatever you do, make sure you bet all the unders on the first games playing out of each region. I'm like, oh, really? I said, why is that? And he said, cold steel. So that's the tip I'm going to throw out there, cold steel. And we'll see if that works this tournament. I don't know.
That's the best tip I've heard all year.
Hey, cold steel.
Cold steel and cold steel.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams, you're right. I've heard something similar to that. A lot of teams come out, juiced up and jacked up, and they're missing shots or clinking the iron. It's not until about the second half where they settle down and start scoring the ball. But the under may be a good strategy. I'll take that tip.
Maybe pick one game and see how it goes. Take the under.
Pick them all.
Yeah, pick them all. Okay. Hey, parlay all those suckers.
Parlay. That's right. A 32-team parlay. There you go.
Yeah.
They'll buy you a few Starbucks.
Shoot. Well, sure. round robin it. Who knows? No. All right. Any final comments, Elgato?
No, I'm just it's just that time of year. March Madness. I've been keeping up with March Madness. God, since I was in high school. I think I watched Michael Jordan. First year in college, Akeem Olajuwon, and the tournament just is just as exciting every year, so I look forward to it. Yeah, me too. I am looking forward to it as well. Any final comments, Rudy?
No, not that I can think of. Hopefully we'll get to see Texas A&M Corpus Christi upset 1 seed Alabama.
Oh my God! Wow, can you imagine? That would be amazing. That not only will be a bracket buster, it'll be a ball buster. Yeah.
They'll bust everything.
Yeah, it sure will. Well, I just have one. I have one thing. What do y'all think about the Zeke being released from the Cowboys?
Amen. Thank God Almighty.
It was going to happen eventually.
I mean, it should have happened 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was he was a disappointment once he signed that contract. I don't know what happened.
I agree. He signed, Jones gave him that huge contract for a running back. I mean, who does that? You can get running backs off the waiver line that can perform. But you're right. He got paid and he just wasn't the same. Poor guy.
he got stuck in that beach sand from where he was training when he was waiting for the contract.
That's it, man. Something happened to the guy. I mean, no doubt the guy was outstanding when he first came on board. Those first couple of years, we're like, damn, this guy reminds you of a bigger Emmett.
Yeah.
Maybe he can do it.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
why
he
they
could stay
paid him the
long
money.
term, but I don't know, something happened.
Yeah, you get paid that money, and then maybe you just are kind of sitting back. I don't know.
Yeah. I just sure hope Jones doesn't do the same mistake and I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I'll just lay it out here with Odell Beckham.
Oh.
I hope he doesn't overpay that guy, because that guy, I don't know, when he doesn't get the ball his way, he starts to complain. He causes turmoil in the locker room. He starts berating his quarterback, but knowing Jerry Jones, he's gonna pay the guy.
I see that.
Yeah, and that's what will happen. It'll be the same thing as the overpaying a player that's past his prime.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
it'll be nice to see Tom Brady in a 49ers uniform this season.
Are you serious? He's gonna come back again?
Oh yeah, he's coming back again. He's playing for the Niners. He's playing for the Niners or the Dolphins.
Man, I don't know.
That would be crazy. This is the first I hear that.
I don't know about that. I mean, he's getting paid good money to be an analyst, so I don't know.
Hey, he did say he was taking this year off, and he wasn't going to do it until next season anyways. So.
Well, that's true. That's true.
What do y'all think of, going one more extension here, what do y'all think about Rodgers to the Jets?
Wow.
They're not going anywhere.
He's toying with them, though. It's crazy. Don't you think he's kind of toying with them?
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like he made the way for his number one wide receiver with Green Bay to get with the Jets.
Yeah,
maybe that was a condition.
Yeah.
He actually said on the Pat McAfee show today that he does intend to play for the Jets next season.
That he does?
Yep.
Really?
Okay. I know it's not a done deal, but that was the rumor mill, that he got his number one receiver signed with the Jets, and that was a condition. And so now I guess it's all about terms of what's next.
Yeah.
That's all it is now.
I think he was definitely in a position to where he could call the shots. So yeah. So
but the Jets they weren't a bad team really last year. They lost a lot of, if I remember correctly, they lost a lot of close games.
Yeah.
And if it not with that, that quarterback that they had, I even forget his name. He's number one pick.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. I mean, that guy, I don't know, from the get-go was not the answer. I don't know why they drafted him number one, but they did. But now they're having to deal with it.
Yeah.
I bet now they can't get rid of him. Yeah.
They're well improved, though. They definitely.
I'm just, chomping at the bit for football to come around again. And what, Angela, you have it timed. How many more months?
I don't even know. I'm going to do a countdown for the next podcast, though, because I am counting down.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here on the eve of March Madness, and we're talking Tom Brady coming back to the 49ers.
just remember me. Just remember when I said it.
All right.
We're gonna what do they say? Mark the tape or save the tape?
Yeah, we are definitely going to do that. We will come back to it.
There's the bonus bet right there.
Save the tape is what they say. Save the tape.
There you go. That was Rudy's bonus bet right there.
That's my bonus bet. Tom Brady will be quarterback.
Interesting.
I like it. Well, thank you for listening to 5 Picks and a Check. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Also hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube channel. Thank you to Rudy for joining us today.
Absolutely.
All right. Make sure to join us next week for some more March Madness picks. As always, thank you to El Gato for being part of 5 Picks and a Chick. 1, 2, 3, break.